Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Sandi Culo. I'm a physician with specialty qualifications in psychiatry, addictions medicine, forensics, and geriatrics. I've worked in healthcare for over 30 years. I have lived in 8 major cities across North America, including Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto, and Victoria. I currently work in the inner city with Edmonton's most vulnerable populations. I regularly testify as an expert medical witness in criminal and civil matters. In my opinion, there's an urgent need for sweeping changes to the current city plan. I support Councillor Cartmell's motion to place a moratorium on multi-family infill development in the RS zone. As Mr. Cartmell stated last week, we need to pause, reflect, and fix what's broken before we approve more of the same. In my opinion, the city needs to go further than merely pause multi-unit developments. The mature neighborhood overlay, zoning bylaw 12800, should be reinstated. Like many of my neighbors, I am not opposed to infill or responsible densification. For most of my life, I have lived in large metropolitan cities in the downtown core. Personal matters brought me to Edmonton prior to the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. After a 9-month search, I eventually found a wonderful home in a lovely mature neighborhood called Crestwood. I've never attended a city council meeting before in any city I have resided in, or spoken publicly about any non-professional matters in a forum such as this. However, the agenda items before us today that involve zoning bylaw 2001 were important to me. So important that I booked the day off, taking time away from my patients and very busy medical and medical-legal practice. Over the past several months, I have spent hours, if not entire days or weeks, discussing and researching 2001 and its ramifications. I have participated in community meetings, had gatherings and informal chats with my neighbors, and have emailed and met with Councillor Andrew Knack on more than one occasion. I have been on the phone countless times to 311 and have had several discussions with bylaw and peace officers. I have been personally threatened with violence by someone who is working on a development approximately half a block away from my home. I know one of the urban arborists by name and have had multiple discussions with development compliance officers. I find myself taking photographs and videos of infill construction sites when I see serious concerns, which is sadly something that happens with increasing regularity. Anyone who knows me well would be incredibly surprised to hear about these activities. I am a very busy professional, and I am also a caregiver to very elderly parents. My parents and siblings were initially quite bewildered by my newfound interest in municipal affairs. Now that they see what is happening in Edmonton's mature residential neighborhoods, they stand behind me, encourage me. They are likely watching and listening as we meet today. My father is in his 90s and my mother is in her 80s. I listened to the June 3rd proceedings from home and was heartened by the active participation and curiosity of Councillors Rice and Principe, who asked cogent questions about how the bylaw changes affected Edmontonians. The remainder of council seemed more interested in their own agendas and keeping their strategic partners happy and the federal money flowing. Edmontonians were clear on June 3rd, and they have been very clear today. They do not want more of the same. The consequences of rapid development and change were evident. I heard the harm that has been done to many individuals and to communities. The adverse effects concern me greatly. I have so many concerns about the mental health effects and quality of life impacts the city's bylaw changes have had and continue to have on Edmontonians. I see the evidence every day as an expert in psychiatry. The strain on my friends and neighbors, the moral injuries to community members whose opinions and values are disrespected and disregarded, the fears and anxieties that my neighbors and friends have about their futures and their properties. I worry about people living in this city, including myself, because it does not feel like home anymore. It does not seem to be a democracy. The city does not appear to care about what Edmontonians want. It does not take an expert in human behavior like me to conclude that this type of relationship between a municipality and its residents will lead to a degradation of morale, of connectedness, and of engagement. In my opinion, people already are feeling hopeless and defeated. I see friends and colleagues strained, stressed, scared, confused, and hurt. I don't see many satisfied community members. If you have time to ask me questions about 2 significant incidents that have happened in my life with this infill development, please feel free to ask me.
Thank you.
Thank you for your attention.